So, last December I reviewed an NFT cartoon called The Red Ape Family, and yeah, I absolutely hated it. Everything was wrong. The voice acting, the animation, the writing, and especially the ethics. I hated everything about that monkey show. I did not find any value in it, and I stand firm in my belief that it is a worse show than High Guardian Spice. And I will die on that hill. But I guess my opinion doesn't matter because Apple decided to have this shit stream on Apple TV. Of course. However, recently a new NFT cartoon by the name of Super Doge is making the rounds, and people are saying that it's even worse than the Red Ape Family. X to doubt, but go off, I guess. So I decided to see if it's as bad as people say it is. So I watched the first episode, and it was something. It doesn't make me as angry as the Red Ape Family did, but it's still not good, and I'm gonna explain why. But before the review, subscribe, please. Roughly only 3% of my viewers are subbed. That might have something to do with one of my videos having over 10,000 views, but regardless, please subscribe as it really helps. I'm only asking now because nobody makes it to the end of these videos. With that being said, let's talk about Super Doge. Starting with the things it got right! Starting off, the animation is a step up from the Red Ape Family, as it is able to actually lip sync, and it does appear that the animators are at least doing a mix of tweening and frame by frame. Now, is it good? No. But it's not horrendously bad either, just mediocre. It almost gives off old Newgrounds vibes, and I would be charmed if this was just a small team making flash cartoons for fun. Unfortunately, this was seemingly made for NFTs, and we'll get back to that, and is apparently brought to us by, and I quote, an award-winning team featuring Emmy-nominated lead writer Adam Gilad, and an all-star team who are known for their work on X-Men, the animated series, Gargoyles, VR Troopers, Flight of the Navigator, Once Bitten, and much more. Again, X to doubt. It also has background music, something that the Red Ape Family almost entirely lacked. So one more point for Super Doge, I guess. Unfortunately, that's where the competency ends, because from this point onwards, the show metaphorically drives off a cliff and crashes. Starting with the most obvious problem, the voice acting! The voice acting is the first thing that makes me question the credentials of whoever is producing this, because it feels even more amateur than the Red Ape Family, which is surprising. It feels like it just used everyone's first takes, and unlike the Red Ape Family, there's only one voice actor listed, Wendy O. My guess on why she was listed is either the others did not want to be listed, or more likely, the male characters were just voiced by the other staff members. It's especially bad for Hollywood, whose accent goes all over the place. Now, props on the team for not making the Chihuahua character Mexican like most cartoons with Chihuahua characters do, as he is supposed to be Eastern European. However, his accent is not consistent with his nationality, for lack of a better word. While it never goes into a stereotypical Mexican accent, it bounces from all sorts of regions. Sometimes it sounds like he's supposed to be from Spain, other times it sounds vaguely Slavic, sometimes it just sounds like a generic badass voice, and sometimes it's almost French. It's hard to get an idea of where he's from just based on the episodes. You would have no idea if he was Eastern European just from the voice acting. And listen, I'm not saying that they should have gotten an actual Slav to voice him. That's what voice acting is for. But if your VA can't hold an accent, then either get somebody who can or just don't use an accent. You don't need to use an accent to convey that he's Eastern European. You can show that via the way he acts or his values, or hell, even just have him talk about where he grew up. Oh, and remember when I said it feels like they just used everybody's first takes? Yeah, well, it also sounds like they just used in the built-in headphone microphones to record their lines. This is most noticeable in the Mad Catter, whose lines have a noticeable amount of background noise. The voice lines are also noticeably flat, as if the VAs are just reading off a script with no enthusiasm. It's not as obnoxious or incomprehensible as the Red 8 family, it's just kind of lifeless, and I'm not sure which one is worse, to be honest. The flat delivery also more often than not gets partly drowned out by the music. Not completely, because I can still hear the characters speaking, but it does get distracting at times. Windy O is perhaps the least bad of the VAs. Her mic quality is decent enough, and she tries to emote a bit more than the others. And I can tell that she has at least done something similar before, however she is far from experienced. So with my problems about the voice acting out of the way, let's talk about something a bit more important to the show. Being the writing. The writing is curious, to say the least. On one hand, there is a clear story, and the main antagonistic force is set up pretty quickly, and it follows the 3-act story structure. On the other hand, it is incredibly bland, and the characters are borderline non-existent. The plot is incredibly basic. The main heroes are told that a villain by the name of the Mad Catter is stealing souls to turn people into NFTs. Hollywood is turned into a GIF. The heroes look bested when Super Doge gets a sudden power upgrade Deus Ex Machina and defeats the villain and saves the day. Now, what I want to talk about is the characters, and to be specific, the main 3. On the Super Doge website, they have character profiles for the main protagonists that are supposed to give an idea of what our protagonists are like, which is not a bad idea. In fact, I am doing this for my own story, Show Me How to Be a Human Being. The tricky part is that virtually none of the traits the website gives the characters appear in the episode, which, benefit of the doubt, maybe they are planning to implement these traits in future episodes, but it's still something to note. Let's start with the main character of the series, Super Doge himself.
Super Doge, the leader of the Doge Pack, is a street Shiba Inu with a troubled past, ever ready to lay his life on the line for any fellow animal in danger. Unable to look anything but noble and majestic at all times, his greatest weaknesses are fire hydrants and frisbees.
I don't think I saw any of these traits in him during the episode, besides maybe ready to lay his life on the line for any fellow animal in danger, which is not a unique trait. In fact, in the episode, he comes off much more like a generic quirky action hero rather than a troubled, streetwise kid who's been fighting his whole life. Lemmy isn't much better in this regard, as her bio reads,
Lean, a slim husky who likes her fur trim, her nails French, and her clothes not too matchy, is one really cool bitch. The brain of the group, she has a secret crush on Super Doge that she won't let anyone sniff out.
Literally the only trait that is even close is her being smart, because she's the only one of the group who knows what an NFT is. Nothing about a crush, nothing about liking her fur trim, nothing about French nails, nothing about her clothes being too matchy. All she really does in the episode is provide exposition. I think the worst of the bunch is Hollywood, because not only do literally none of his traits appear in the episode, but he also spends the entire second part as a GIF. Listen to this description.
Hollywood, a cigar-chomping chihuahua, hails from Eastern Europe where he used to be a TV child star. Always ready with a quick comeback, usually in the form of a grown-out-loud pun, Hollywood cares first and foremost about one thing, Hollywood, while constantly making meta comments on the action and rewriting the script for his future showbiz comeback. Any day now.
All of the puns are made by Super Doge. There are no meta comments about the action or script rewrites, and there is nothing about being a former child star. All he does is make a few comments about the idea of minting people into NFTs, and he gets turned into a GIF. Even with the benefit of the doubt, you could have had him make just one pun. He doesn't have to be Sans Undertale. And I'm going off script, but I just realized, this is peak tell, don't show. They are telling you what the characters are like without actually showing you what the characters are like. This is Twilight level writing. And the reason I went so hard on how the characters are written is because I'm saving the problems with the plot for a segment I like to call, What Am I Supposed to Feel? Okay, so this show is being made to promote NFTs, or at the very least is trying to appeal to crypto bros who are already interested in NFTs. But the plot revolves around the Doge pack stopping villains called fat cats, a term that typically refers to wealthy contributors of a political campaign fund, but can also mean a wealthy and privileged person, like the type of people who can afford to spend exuberant amounts of cash on NFTs. The main antagonist, the Mad Catter, is sucking up souls out of people so that he can sell them on the open sea, and Super Doge himself says, and I quote, "These cats are too greedy, they must be stopped." And then because the writers dug themselves into a hole by putting Super Doge in a situation where he has no chance to organically win, they have bootleg Rafiki Zordon plunge Super Doge into a bunch of replicas to scare off the Mad Catter. This is made even worse when Lemmy says that the reason the Mad Catter is turning people into NFTs is because he just wants to sell them. And then you see NFT bros straight up saying that they don't care about the art, only the investment. But what confuses me the most is that they're giving away free NFTs, so is this supposed to make NFTs more artist-friendly? Is this supposed to be a parody, a meta-commentary? Is this an attempt to seize the means of NFT production? Like, seriously, what am I supposed to feel? Are NFTs an amazing, life-changing piece of technology? Or are they just a tool for the rich to get richer by sucking the soul out of everything? For a show trying to promote NFTs, it does a horrible job at doing so. It ends up making it look like NFT traders are selfish people who will gladly destroy the world around them just to make money. And if that was the point, then why create and promote NFTs at the same time? And if that was not the point, then you dropped the ball harder than the story team doubling down on Frecklewish being in the dark forest. I was gonna go on this big, long rant about my futures about entertainment, but that's not for here. I barely have any final thoughts about the show other than it's slightly better than the Red 8 family because it still has some of the ethical problems. Because this show is a confusing mess, and while it doesn't enrage me as much as the Red 8 family, I still don't like it. 0.32 out of 10, The Thing is a better piece of doggo media. Oh, hey, you made it to the end of the video! Please subscribe, the voices won't stop, I'm losing my mind! Why on earth did Shannon come back? Only 3% of my viewers show up as subscribed, so please support this tiny channel with your subscription. I'm looking to improve my output by getting at least one video out a month, so please leave suggestions on what I can do in the comments. Excluding drama content because I'm pretty much done with commentary. If you want to see more of me, then I'm trying to stream on Twitch, so you can see me play some video games. If you want to see me post art and shitposts, then please check out my Tumblr, DeviantArt, and Newgrounds, and Twitter. And if you want to see whips of my art, then follow me on Instagram. I've got an AO3 page where I'll be posting chapters to an upcoming story, wink wink. And if you want to hang out with me and other cool people, then join my Discord server. All of this is linked in the description below. And, stand dog thing. Bye!
Hey, how y'all? Get your fucking dog, bitch! It don't bite. Yes, it do! Get the